Two questions here. Can I have your attention? I gave you an opportunity to do the question. Right? Now, if you want to find the length, okay, for the sine rule, okay, I'm gonna write them down. Okay, well, just allow me to write them as A over sine A is equal to B over sine B equal to C over sine C. If you want to calculate a length, like in this case x there, obviously, if you go to the formula, if I choose the first two ratios, if I want to calculate a length, it means I must be given what? Two angles. Two angles and one length. Among those two angles, one of them must be opposite a given length. So here, we have got angle B, which is opposite AC. So it's more like this. These two are related. So I can have here, it will be B over sine B. Right? But when I calculate x, and x is opposite angle A, which means the other ratio is going to come from the relationship between those two. Right? So, when I write my formula, I don't need to write all three ratios. So based on the question here, I can call this one C, this is small a, that's small b. Okay, please remember I said you can also use capital letters. Right? So if I want to calculate x, I can write straight away x over sine A. Okay? This will be equal to b over sine b. We put the angle sine there. But generally we don't penalize you for not putting it. So when I calculate x, it means x is going to be b sine A. Now my b is 100 times sine A, which is 50 degrees, all over sine B, which is, in this case, angle B is 55. What answer do you get? You just use your calculator. And you round off your answer to two decimal places. What answer do you get? 93.52. Now this will be units. Okay? Because it's a length. Okay? It's a length. Right? So this is very easy and it's very straightforward. Okay? Are you following? Yeah, if you made a mistake somewhere, then you need to write corrections. Okay? Make sure you write corrections. Then, the second question, again, you are supposed to calculate x, but x is opposite angle r. But angle r is not given, which means the first thing is to determine the size of angle r. Fortunately, we are given two interior angles, so we can use geometry of triangles to calculate the size of angle r. So allow me to calculate the size of r. So my angle r will be equal to 180 degrees minus the sum of 32 degrees plus 95 degrees. Well, you did geometry, so you can write the ratio here. I prefer to write this as sum of angles in a triangle. Okay? Now this will give me 180 minus, if I take 5, I'll get 100, so I'll get 127. And then this will give me 53 degrees. Okay, so I now know the size of angle R is 53, right? Then the next thing now is to look at the other two pairs of angles in the side. Okay, which angle has got a side opposite which is given? Look at 95 and what? And PR. Because PR is given, which means we don't need this 32 degrees anymore. Okay, so I'm going to write my formula now. So if I write my formula for sine rule, allow me to do it here. Let me use this color. So it's going to be, well, okay, allow me to use capital letters this time. Okay, I want to calculate x. So I can say x over sine r is equal to PR over sine q. Okay, very straightforward. Then x will be equal to PR, which is 21, times sine r. I got it here as 53 So this will be 53 divided by sine of 95. What answer do you get? 16,83. 84. Okay, units. Then you answer. So here we have used the sine rule to calculate the length, but sometimes you may use the sine rule to calculate the size of an angle. Okay, I think we'll probably do an example like that.